What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad we can get this going.
Yeah, me too.
I really like your approach to bass playing music. I think it's really awesome. Just the versatility aspect of what you do. And
Thanks.
I had some questions that were more like kind of just all over the place and like just about music in general. How do you warm up for a show? And like, does that differ from like show to show or like type of music you're playing?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, actually. We think, well, it depends on, like if you're talking about just like a local show, you just like you got a gig tonight and you just want to warm up for it. Is that what you mean?
Um, yeah, sure. Or it could be like you're on a tour or something and like something where you have a show like
Right.
every day.
Well, on a tour, you're going to have sound checks every day anyway. Like,
Sure.
unless you're the artist, you're going to be on stage playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to get that sound back in your head. So that's kind of one way. I mean, because you will be touching the instrument before the show. I mean, also you can grab a bass and bring it off stage and just noodle around. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any specific warm up stuff. I mean, I'll do like, like just throw the hands down shreddy, kind of like you hear that? Just start motoring around, like just do that open string,
Gotcha.
It's just like stuff to just get mostly it's for me, it's the right hand. Left will work itself out, but it's mostly the right hand. Because that's the thing that goes first. I mean, right now I'm like so rusty right now. It's actually pretty comical how rusty I am in general. You know what I mean? Well, because I'm not working every day, so it's just like,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have a burning passion to pick up the bass and play every day. I mean, I will try to play upright for at least 5 or 10 minutes a day because I think you kind of have to. You know what I mean? Just fundamentally, just like do a quick thing and then put it down again. Yeah. Then somebody will call me and need a recording, and then that'll be my playing. You know what I mean? And hopefully, like I actually like secretly hope that they're a pain in the ass, and I'll have to do like 10 takes of stuff because then you get this all your stuff back. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, really, I won't really be unrusty unless I'm busy playing bass. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And right now I'm working on records, so I'm just like trying to write and do beats and shit like that. So it's like, I'm not playing much.
So you like to making beats and exploring other stuff too. I mean, I know you're like super versatile when it comes to bass, but what else do you like to do to keep your mind going especially during the pandemic?
Well, we had a Patreon page going, so like we just we launched into that right away. So it was like without wasting any time, and so like that just kept us. We were working like 20, 30 hours a week on that because it's like it's all video, so you have to like make conceptualize the video. I was teaching a lesson once a week, and we were writing tracks almost like once or twice a week, and then I was doing gear videos every day, like even if it was just like 5 minutes, but I would plug a pedal in and so I did a lot of that. So like that's how we stayed busy. And then, some recording stuff and a couple product demos.
You play with Wayne Krantz. You're also like playing with air trucks and stuff. Like how did you get into the like, improvised music scene? Like, did you start out like just being like, I want to do that, like, and other shit, or was it just like, I don't know, how did that come about?
Well, the whole thing with that, well, first of all, just so I could give props to Lincoln, like Lincoln was a huge influence because I took over the Wayne gig from Lincoln. So like, they did that 2 Drink Minimum record, and that was hugely influential on me. You know what I mean? Like how Lincoln would approach the tunes and stuff was really cool. And then, but then, like as time went on with that band, it became more experimental and sort of, we would, like we did a lot of stretching, usually in keys and stuff, and sometimes it would get weird and electronic. But I mean, really, honestly, the whole electronic thing was the key to because back in like late '98 to about 2002 or 3, there was a big, that's when drum and bass was coming up in England. Like it became the huge thing, and then so we in New York we kind of started playing it live. There was a couple people in London doing it, but we kind of, it was like Jojo Mayer, me, Zach Danziger, Jonathan Marin, a whole bunch of people, right? So like, So basically those sets were like, you get the right pedals together and stuff like that. That's all, but it was all improvising. You know what I mean? We just set up and blow for an hour, on drum and bass kind of stuff. And then it was fun. It was cool. And that's kind of where I got the whole confidence thing to do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because then it became like, then I started actually playing with improvisers, like, like the downtown, knitting factory guys. So like Tony Malaby and Tom Rainey, like the guys who are really the knitting factory, like free jazzers, So that's kind of like how it all began. And then I just kind of then Dave Binney would do nights at the 55 bar. I would have one, Then finally I was just like, I felt good enough about it where I just kind of just did it, Like one of my bands is like that. Whose Hat Is This? The guys from Tedeschi Trucks Band. It's all free.
I'm a huge fan of like jungle beats and like all that, like live or just programmed.
I love it too.
Yeah, I haven't really messed around with like making it that much, but I could listen to it like for hours.
Let me I'll turn you on to this.
Please.
I found this old jungle on YouTube. I found this jungle playlist that's outrageous, and because it's like the original jungle stuff was it's all kind of like dubstep, like dancehall reggae. Where is this? Oh yeah, old school jungle. All right, let me put this link. I found it. This is great. It's just like all this,
Get mash up.
I'm putting the link in the chat.
Get mash up.
Anyway, yeah, so this is like an hour and 25 of this. It's like all the old school original jungle stuff.
That's amazing. I'm so glad that I got another jungle playlist.
Oh man, I'm so into that. I mean, that's the stuff where they were using hardware and where there was no software involved. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have it back then. It was just like all, or you guys, maybe it was your sequencer, but it was all your samplers and outboard gear. So hardcore, so good.
It completely blows my mind. Like, because I mean, when I was a teenager, like GarageBand had just become like amazing.
Right.
Everything. So just always used to it. And like just a tape reel, I'm like terrified. But
yeah,
you know.
I mean, think about how advanced GarageBand is just from that, and you could people do. Nowhere was doing records on GarageBand. They did start out that way anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do you ever like do stuff with tape now? Or
I mean, I have a reel to reel. I'm gonna start messing with it. I haven't got to the point where that's a whole other skill. Like getting the outputs right and the levels going to it right. It's like a nightmare. I haven't really. Although I have started. I just got a reamp box, so that's cool. I mean that'll definitely help if I want to do some mono, like weird ambient things or something like that, and just put it down to tape. But yeah, it's a whole new thing to me,
How do you find the balance between like, delving like really deep into music and like just constantly exploring and like learning new stuff? Like
learning technology or like listening to a lot of music to try to get it in your head and stuff?
Yeah, just listening to music, like learning tunes and stuff like that. But I don't know, what's your experience?
I don't really, luckily, I mean, I'm too busy to sit down and enjoy it half the time. Unless it's somebody I'm really a big fan of, like old classic rock or something,
Gotcha.
Shit I grew up with, and I have it on vinyl or something, so I'll go listen to it on vinyl. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a couple of vinyls I got to catch up on. I mean, the last one I was really enjoying was this Keith Jarrett record that, it was like a radio broadcast from Paris in like 72 or something like that. And it's unreal. It's not even on his usual label either. So it's just like, I enjoy that. But yeah, I mean, like usually music, I mean, I'm usually, yeah, sometimes like when I'm on an airplane or something like that, sure. Just put on something for the joy of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like learning all the time. It's just, it's so hard. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes like the announcements in the plane are too long, or too loud. So I'll put on Meshuggah. Is that blocked out? frequency stuff that blocks out any other noise besides what's going on, you know.
Damn, that's really funny.
Yeah, well, it's just like one of those things. You just find things that'll block out noise, and also like there's a couple like these kind of new, what are they called, new age records that I could sleep to. It also fills up the frequency. But yeah, I mean, you know, like I really hate when people tell me, oh, you should check this out, you should check that out. But you know, once in a while, it actually pays off, and I've heard some good stuff. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
Because I think there's a lot of, so my opinion is that there's a lot of homogeneity. Is that the right word? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh, cool. Like you hear the new Hiatus Coyote record. And it's just like, yeah, it's D'Angelo based. You know, like it all stems from voodoo. And it's just like, okay, I mean, there's like 50,000 of those records out right now. And it's just like, oh man, you know, there's occasional exceptions, you know, like, yeah, she's good. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So there's definitely exceptions that I like, but you know, to me, it's like it's like almost like I've been there, done that thing.
Do you take lessons yourself? When did you stop doing that, or did you ever take lessons?
I kind of didn't. I mean, I did it initially to learn how to, you know, just get around the bass a little bit, but other than that, I didn't do it. I just kind of what did I do? I just kind of stayed away from like. It wasn't even intentional. I just didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like I started figuring out electric bass quick enough where I was just like, you know, I had good high school and middle school band teachers. So like I kind of figured out, you know, how to navigate the stuff pretty quickly. I took some upright lessons and I continue to whenever I can. Like, you know, like I had Linda, I guess I would call, I had her over so I could take an upright lesson, and she took an electric lesson from me.
Oh, no.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, she's just a beast on upright, so it's just like one of the best I think in the world. So like, you know, like just, and even then, you know, even it's not even like, sometimes a lesson is just like watching people play. You know what I mean? I just sat there and watched her. You know what I mean? And she showed me how she was doing like some neck stuff, and so you know, so just like watching her do her thing, like I learned a lot from that.
Awesome.
Yeah, other than that, I kind of haven't been taking any lessons. You know, like I never really took an electric lesson. I just sit I would like play along with records with like no amp. You know, just like doing shit like that. Because it's just like actually by playing with no amp, you know, you get your right hand sound gets better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a big part of what I was doing, and then yeah, and then just like playing along with records, and then just, you know. Luckily, I was playing with Krantz, and that kind of was a big. He's a teacher to me, you know what I mean. But it's not. It's more conceptual than it is technical. You know what I mean. Like just learning how to play 8-bar phrase, like improvising 8-bar phrases all the time. Like that was kind of the whole thing, and then like kind of navigating tunes and like, you know, just learning how to interact with somebody that deeply. And it's a trio, so like, you know, it's like drums and guitar. And like tucking yourself in so it's cool, and then also doesn't sound derivative.
Yeah.
So like, and that's stuff like he either told me to do stuff or I didn't. I just learned it on the gigs, you know. So it's like it's pretty invaluable experience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I saw you at the Regatta Bar with
last year.
I guess it was last year. My time was all like messed up. That was a great show.
That was a fire tour. Like that's the first time we toured together in a long time. So like that ended up like having some great nights, and yeah, Regatta Bar was fun. That was just about before everything shut down too.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, we finished that tour. We went to Europe after that, but I think we did Regatta Bar, then went down to New York, and then we went to Europe. I think from there, or like a couple places in the States. Yeah, that was good. I mean, because it's funny, like, you know, we did this when I was in my early 30s. Keith was probably in his 20s, right? Like, so now we're all older and like to do that music, and it's pretty wild. Like, you know, Wayne's got a little hearing damage, so like he plays unbelievably fucking loud now compared to what he used to play.
Yeah, loud.
Yeah, just a guitar amp is just unbearable sometimes. However, you know, like because with the 55 bar, I mean, I think he started feeling like he was getting blown off the stage, but he was playing through a deluxe reverb, which sounded killer. You know, but he was testing it every night because we started getting pretty loud. So, right, but yeah, there's my teacher, if I have one.
Did you play at the Stanford Jazz Workshop with Donnie McCaslin.
Yep, a couple years ago, right?
Because I went when I was in like must have been ninth grade, so like 5 or 6 years ago. But seeing because he was there like basically the whole time, and that was a huge game changer. Just seeing, like, I remember he did this one thing where he like just played solo for like 5 minutes. Never seen anyone do that, and I love his playing so much and like his music too.
Who, Donnie?
Yeah, Donnie.
Yeah. He's on my wife's record. Just came out today. He's all over my wife's record. Called The Garden. Came out good. I produced it. There's a production thing. You know.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's cool. It came out. It's interesting sounding. It's cool. It's rock and roll.
So what is that? What exactly did you do?
Well, Jason Kingsland, like he's more of an indie rock producer, right? So like all the drum sounds are. First of all, we did it at Sonic Ranch, and they don't have jazz drums, so like there was no jazz drums. There's just big Titanic fucking kick drums and snares and stuff, and so, you know, it's cool to have that aesthetic on it. I think. So like a lot of it's like big pocket stuff, and then there's some jazz stuff, but it's all in big drums, and then it's just stuff like this that was just really 100% in my wheelhouse. Just like some of it's like some obtuse bass lines that we wrote tunes around. Like the third track is like, you know, this track that I basically I just would sit down, you know, like getting loose, and I would put the metronome on and record myself, you know. Is that, I think it's here. Hold on a second. It's just like hold on. I mean, I just make stuff up. Yeah, so it's like, see. You know, just weird patterns that I just would throw down. And it's kind of almost atonal. But so, yeah, I mean, and basically that's sometimes how I just get loose also, you know, going back to your earlier question. But that turned into it too, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, always have the record button on.
Man, trust me, you know, like that's a thing. Herbie Hancock would say that all the time. Just never turn the tape machine off.
My dad told me that when I was super young. He said that Prince, like right when you'd walk into the studio, he'd like press record on some like huge system.
Right.
He's just like always be recording. But
I think he's right. I mean, that's actually super valuable advice. No, it's super valuable, you know, to impart on that. Yeah. Because like also if you're paying for the time, it's just like, you know, all right, hopefully they're set up and then you just go in and do whatever you want. I think it's cool. Like, yeah, like there's a place called Sonic Ranch in Texas. That's like totally that's the vibe. Just show up. You stay there. You stay on the. It's like a pecan farm, and you stay there, and then you just. It's right on the border of Mexico too. It's wild. So, yeah, you just go there and like you just set up your stuff and just do everything at your own pace for the most part.
That's sweet. Yeah. Do you have like a particular studio that like working at other than Sonic Ranch?
Yeah, I like the little funky little places. There's a couple in LA that are cool. This place called 64 Sound. It's pretty quirky, pretty wild.
I know you said that you're like, oh, I don't want to hear people say like, how do you do this? But like, what was working with David Bowie like?
Oh, that was fun. Well, no, I don't mind talking about that. I mean, that was great because he's one of the most well-read people. This guy was hilarious, you know, like. But yeah, he was funny, and like, you know, once you got rid of the little stigma of like, yeah, this guy's really famous and blah blah blah. I mean, he was great hang, and he also knows his shit. Like he knew what he liked and what he didn't like, and when somebody inspires something like the intros on Lazarus was like that was because I was improvising, and he's like, yeah, you do that at the beginning, and that was it. You know, yeah, it's amazing. So like, you know, it's not like. So the improvising does pay the bills sometimes. It's like sometimes it turns into magic. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's just happened to be that way. Jacob, take care, man, and then talk soon.
Sounds good.
Okay, brother. Later.
Peace.